Ever noticed how some people move through life they already know the outcome, calm, certain, unshaken? What if that could be you? There's a strange magic in pretending you've done something before. It tricks your body, your voice, your presence into becoming unstoppable. Master this illusion, and reality starts bending in your favor. In just a few moments, you'll uncover the mindset shift that makes you look, speak, and lead like you've done it before. 1. It improves your confidence cycle. You stand at the threshold of greatness right now. Every master was once a beginner who simply decided to act as if they belonged. This is your fundamental challenge, to step forward with the confidence of someone who has already succeeded. When you adopt this transformative mindset, you create a powerful momentum in your consciousness. You project confidence, which generates positive responses from others, which reinforces your confidence further. This principle transforms your entire existence because your subconscious mind cannot distinguish between actual experience and vividly imagined experience. When you carry yourself with the certainty of someone who has mastered their craft, your mind begins to operate at that level. The barrier between who you are and who you wish to become dissolves through deliberate action. Acting as if means adopting the posture, speech patterns, decision-making processes, and habits of the person you aspire to be. It's not pretending, it's rehearsing for the role you were born to play. You align your current actions with your future self. The young Thomas Edison personified this approach. Before inventing the phonograph in 1877, he had never created such a device before. Nobody had. Yet he acted with the methodical confidence of an experienced inventor, proceeding step by step as if success were inevitable. His certainty became a self-fulfilling prophecy. You possess this same capacity. Transform your life today by standing tall, speaking with authority, and moving with purpose, not waiting until you feel confident, but acting as if confidence already flows through your veins. Project certainty through your eyes, voice, and movements. Make decisions with the assurance of someone who knows the path. Your body will follow your commands, and your mind will rise to match your physical state. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Hebrews 11:1. This profound scripture reveals exactly what Edison practiced, acting with complete certainty before any physical evidence existed. Your faith becomes the bridge that transforms invisible dreams into tangible reality. The liberation sequence. The chains that hold you back were never placed by others. They were forged in your own mind, link by link, every time you whispered to yourself, "I can't, I'm not ready," or "I'm not qualified." These phrases, seemingly harmless, become iron bars that fence in your potential. But here's the truth. Those limits are not real. They're agreements you've made with yourself. Today is the day you break those agreements. Every act of self-doubt reinforces a cage that only you can unlock. But there is a key. Acting as if. When you behave as though you've already succeeded, when you speak with the confidence of someone who has already won, take action as if you've done it before, you begin to dismantle the prison of your own hesitation. This is not about pretending or deceiving others. It's about reprogramming your own brain to stop negotiating with fear. Your potential has nothing to do with your past. Your current performance is not a ceiling but a floor. Beneath your habits, beyond your doubts, lies a vast reservoir of genius, dormant, waiting, ready. The tragedy isn't that people try and fail, it's that they aim so low they never awaken the power inside them. Confidence doesn't come from getting everything right. It comes from moving forward when you're unsure and discovering that you are capable beyond belief. The idea that you're not good enough, not experienced enough, not ready, it's a lie you've repeated so many times it began to sound like truth. But these are provisional agreements, not natural laws. Every expert was once a beginner. Every skill that seems impossible now can be mastered with time, focus, and belief. Belief is the seed. Practice is the soil. Repetition is the sunlight. If you nurture the right internal environment, growth becomes inevitable. Take Henry Ford. His formal education was minimal, yet his vision reshaped the world. In 1932, when he demanded an engine design that engineers declared impossible, he didn't waver. He told them to proceed anyway, with the mindset that it could be done. For months, they failed. But Mr. Ford's certainty never flinched. His mind was already on the other side of the problem. That mental posture, acting with the assurance of prior success, was the catalyst. Eventually, the impossible became real. He acted as if, and that as if became is. What about you? What's the belief you've clung to that quietly chokes your ambition? Identify it. Name it. Now flip it. Write its opposite. Speak it aloud until your mind no longer flinches. Let your behavior lead the way. If you've told yourself, "I'm not a leader," say instead, "I lead with clarity and strength." If you've said, "I don't have what it takes," say, "I am more than enough." Then act in alignment with that new truth. Action changes identity. One bold step creates evidence that rewrites your mental script. Let this truth settle into your spirit. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Philippians 4:13. This isn't just spiritual encouragement, it's a declaration of access to unlimited strength. It's a reminder that there's a power within you that is not constrained by fear, failure, or the past. Millions have shattered lifelong limitations by standing on this verse, not as a hope, but as a certainty. So today, refuse to negotiate with your limitation. Challenge every thought that tries to chain you to the past. Speak life, act bold, and walk forward as if success is inevitable, because when you believe, it often is. 3. The attraction spiral. When you act decisively, as though you've navigated the terrain before, you radiate a rare and powerful energy. In a world ruled by uncertainty and hesitation, certainty becomes a magnet. People instinctively gravitate toward those who seem to know where they're going, even if the path is still unfolding. This creates a self-reinforcing loop. Your decisive action attracts attention, resources, and allies. These external forces then support and amplify your efforts, helping you achieve results far beyond what hesitant movement could ever bring. The truth is, the most successful people in history weren't born bolder. They trained themselves to act despite doubt. They moved when others paused. They leaned into the unknown with faith rather than retreating into analysis. What set them apart was not supernatural confidence, but a cultivated pattern of choosing movement over paralysis. Each decisive step built a stronger identity. I am someone who moves. I am someone who acts. And herein lies the secret. Motion creates momentum. The moment you begin moving forward, no matter how unsure you feel, you ignite a sequence of events that propels you further. Acting as if you've done it before interrupts the loop of fear and overthinking. You shift from the realm of spectators, those who wait, who wish, who wonder, into the realm of doers. And the world rewards those who do. Opportunity is drawn to motion like gravity. Meanwhile, indecision and delay only breed more confusion and decay. This principle played out dramatically in the rise of Napoleon Bonaparte. In the 1790s, a young, relatively unknown general, Napoleon repeatedly found himself outnumbered in battle. But he had mastered one essential force: decisive confidence. He moved with such authority and conviction that enemy generals often believed he commanded a much larger force than he actually had. His soldiers, feeding off his unshakable demeanor, fought harder, faster, and more fearlessly. Napoleon's belief in victory, demonstrated through immediate action, created a psychological advantage more powerful than numbers alone. That same power is available to you. Your energy affects others more than your words. Move with confidence, and those around you will respond in kind. Practice making decisions faster than what feels comfortable. Let go of the need for perfect information. You'll never have all the facts. Trust the strength of your intuition. It's the wisdom of your subconscious mind, trained over years of observation, experience, and insight. When the world deliberates, you execute. When they waver, you advance. This ability to move quickly and confidently becomes your edge, the unique trait that sets you apart in a sea of indecision. Your pace becomes your power. In business, in relationships, in life, speed paired with intention wins. While others study the map, you're already halfway up the mountain. And as you move, paths appear that were hidden to the stagnant. Clarity doesn't precede movement, it follows it. Anchor your focus in divine wisdom. Let your eyes look straight ahead. Fix your gaze directly before you. Do not turn to the right or the left. Keep your foot from evil. Proverbs 4:25-27. This timeless passage reminds us that power flows from focus. Distraction is the thief of direction. When you remain committed to forward motion with your eyes locked on the horizon, the noise fades, doubt loses its grip, and the path, once invisible, becomes clear. So step forward today, not with reckless haste, but with sacred decisiveness. Act not because you're certain of every outcome, but because you know inaction is no longer an option. Let others pause and ponder. You lead, move, advance, and watch as the world reshapes itself around the boldness of your steps. 4. the mental transformation. The conversations you have with yourself are not trivial. They are the architects of your destiny. More than any external force, it is your inner dialogue that charts the course of your future. The thoughts you entertain, the words you repeat silently or aloud, the tone with which you speak to yourself, all of these elements shape your identity, fuel your emotions, and influence every decision you make. And when you act as if you've already done something, when you carry yourself with the calm assurance of prior mastery, you disrupt the damaging cycles of doubt that have lived in your mind for years. This shift rewires your neural circuitry, creating a self-reinforcing loop. Confident self-talk drives effective action, which leads to real success, which then reinforces even more powerful inner dialogue. Most people remain chained to internal scripts they never consciously chose. Messages absorbed in childhood like "you're not good enough," "don't stand out," or "play it safe" become background noise so persistent that we mistake it for truth. These self-limiting beliefs, once useful for survival or acceptance, eventually become prisons of mediocrity. But they are not permanent. They can be identified, challenged, and replaced through disciplined mental effort. It begins by rewriting the script. Start speaking to yourself not as who you've been, but as who you're becoming. When you talk to yourself like someone who has already succeeded, you step into the mindset required to bring that success to life. This isn't about delusion, it's about direction. You're not lying to yourself, you're training yourself. Just like athletes visualize winning before stepping into the arena, you must mentally rehearse victory before it's visible. Speak with authority. Replace "maybe I can" with "I was made for this." Erase "I'm not ready" and write in "I'm rising to this challenge." But make no mistake, this mental reframing requires relentless vigilance. You must watch your thoughts like a hawk scans the skies. Self-defeating beliefs are cunning, disguise themselves as logic, humility, or caution. When one appears, "What if I fail?" you must immediately intercept it with, "What if I win beyond my wildest dreams?" Don't let fear linger unchallenged. The brain believes what it hears most. So flood it with visions of success until those images become second nature. This is not fantasy. This is focus. It's the conscious act of programming your mind toward power, not paralysis. Few individuals embody this principle more powerfully than Andrew Carnegie. Born into grinding poverty in Dunfermline, Scotland, Mr. Carnegie arrived in America with almost nothing. Yet from a young age, he chose to speak, walk, and think like someone destined for greatness. While still a messenger boy earning a few dollars a week, he cultivated the poise and language of the elite. This inner posture created an external perception that opened doors long before his wealth arrived. People responded not to his poverty, but to the invisible confidence he carried. That invisible posture, born from self-directed thought, eventually manifested into tangible empire. Mr. Carnegie's rise was not luck. It was self-created identity made real. You must do the same. Record empowering statements in your own voice. "I am strong. I am focused. I am relentless." Listen to them daily. Create a personal creed that speaks not just to what you do, but to who you are. Recite it aloud each morning until your subconscious begins to accept it as fact. Eliminate words of hesitation from your vocabulary. "I'll try" becomes "I will." "I hope" becomes "I know." Speak life into your actions. Program your nervous system for excellence by changing your internal language. For as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. Proverbs 23:7. This is not just poetic, it is scientifically and spiritually profound. You do not become what you wish for, you become what you believe. The world outside you is molded by the world inside you. Andrew Carnegie didn't wait for the world to approve of him. He created the world through his unwavering self-image. And you can do the same. The challenge before you is simple yet radical. Become the master of your internal dialogue. Speak only what empowers, believe only what elevates, and act as if the outcome has already been written in your favor. Because when you do, your thoughts cease being hopes, they become blueprints. Your words cease being noise, they become commands. And your mind, no longer your enemy, becomes your most loyal architect of destiny. The physical awakening. Your body doesn't just reflect your mental state, it actively creates it. Every gesture, every posture, every breath you take is a command to your nervous system. When you physically carry yourself as if you've already mastered a skill, something remarkable happens. Your body starts communicating to your brain, "This is who I am," and your brain, ever responsive, listens. This isn't metaphor, it's biochemistry. Standing tall, moving deliberately, and holding a powerful posture alters your hormonal balance within minutes. Testosterone rises, cortisol, the stress hormone, drops. Confidence isn't just felt, it is triggered, sparked, and reinforced through your physiology. The link between physical stance and mental state cannot be overstated. Science continues to validate what great leaders, warriors, and performers have known for centuries. Your body is not a passenger in your journey to success, it is a co-pilot. When you stand upright, make steady eye contact, speak clearly, and walk with intention, you are signaling to your mind and the world around you that you are in control. These actions influence the very chemicals that determine how you think, feel, and perform. It's not about pretending, it's about embodying. Master the art of embodying success before it visibly arrives. Practice the posture of confidence until it becomes muscle memory. Carry yourself like the person you aspire to be. Your handshake, your stride, your voice, they are not random. They are instruments that either amplify your greatness or dull your impact. Train them, refine them, use them intentionally. Start with the walk. How would someone who has achieved your goals walk into a room? Slow down. Take up space. Let your steps be deliberate. Next, refine your posture. Straighten your spine. Unclench your jaw. Open your chest. These changes send signals of strength and calm to your subconscious. Then, fine-tune your tone of voice. Speak a little slower. Emphasize the words that matter. Remove filler words that dilute your authority. Practice greeting others with eye contact and conviction. These micro-adjustments are the building blocks of an unshakable identity. Olympic champion Jesse Owens was a living testament to this principle. At the 1936 Berlin Olympics, in front of Adolf Hitler and the entire Nazi regime, Owens carried himself with the poise of a king. The atmosphere was hostile, the pressure enormous, yet Mr. Owens approached the starting line as if he owned it. Watch the footage, and you'll see it. The stillness, the focus, the deliberate ritual before each race. This was not accidental. Mr. Owens conditioned his body to feel victory before the starting gun fired. He visualized the outcome, breathed like a winner, stood like a winner. And when the time came, his body delivered the performance his mind had already accepted as truth. Your body is the stage for your mind's beliefs. It either reinforces your internal power or sabotages it. You can begin right now. Straighten your spine, pull your shoulders back, lift your chest, breathe deeply from your diaphragm. Inhale confidence, exhale hesitation. Walk through your environment as if opportunity is watching, because it is. Your physical presence broadcasts your identity. Others are reading it long before you speak. Let this shift extend to your voice. Drop the speed at which you speak. Embrace pauses. They create power. Make your speech more intentional. A confident voice does not rush. It commands attention through clarity, resonance, and poise. These are not traits reserved for the elite. They are choices available to you every day, with every interaction. The Apostle Paul once wrote, "I discipline my body and bring it into subjection." 1 Corinthians 9:27. He understood that the body is not a mere vessel, it is a tool of purpose. Mastery requires not just spiritual or intellectual strength, but physical control. Discipline over your posture, breath, and movement is not cosmetic. It is sacred. It aligns your external reality with your internal vision. So today, take command of your body, not someday, now. Your cells are listening to the story your body tells. Make sure it's a story of triumph, strength, and clarity. Walk like the person you are becoming. Speak like the leader who already exists within you. Stand like the champion whose victory is inevitable, because the body you discipline today will become the force that carries your mind to greatness tomorrow. 6. The alliance force. Surrounding yourself with individuals who see you not only for who you are, but for who you are becoming accelerates your transformation. Human potential is not realized in isolation. It is amplified in community. When you act as if you've done something before while in the presence of supportive allies, you enter a feedback loop of empowerment. Their belief in you strengthens your self-image. That renewed confidence improves your performance, and your improved performance reinforces their belief. This cycle becomes a force of momentum that is nearly unstoppable. The people closest to you shape your idea of what's normal. Their expectations, habits, and mindset silently influence your behavior. If you regularly interact with people who complain, settle, and shrink from challenge, you will gradually find yourself doing the same. But if your circle consists of individuals who dream big, take bold action, and refuse to be nervous, their standard becomes your standard. You begin to internalize their confidence, resilience, and ambition. You unconsciously absorb their vocabulary, routines, and mindset. Their world becomes your world through the power of association. Find at least 2 individuals who share your hunger for growth, excellence, and contribution. Meet regularly, not just casually, but with purpose. Exchange insights, set challenges, offer accountability, celebrate progress. The collective energy of even a small group, when focused, becomes a multiplier. Ideas evolve faster. Courage increases. Breakthroughs come sooner. You will move further, faster together than you ever could alone. History provides powerful examples of this truth. Thomas Edison, Henry Ford, Harvey Firestone, and other titans of the early 20th century formed a mastermind group that met regularly. These weren't aimless conversations. These were dynamic sessions of innovation, brainstorming, and personal refinement. Together, they fueled the Industrial Revolution. They challenged one another, elevated one another, and believed in one another. Importantly, each man acted as if he belonged at that table. That confidence became self-fulfilling. The association itself conferred identity. In their presence, greatness became not only possible, it became expected. Your own life is no different. Begin by identifying the 5 people with whom you spend the most time. Audit their impact. Do they uplift your vision or subtly erode it? Do they energize your ambition or drain it? Then make a decision. Deliberately seek out those who represent the future you desire. This might mean joining professional groups, volunteering with mission-driven organizations, or investing in mentorship. Seek coaches who've done what you aim to do. Don't leave your environment to chance. Proximity is power. Place yourself where growth is the norm and excellence is the expectation. This principle is not only psychological, it is deeply spiritual. As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. Proverbs 27:17. This reveals a universal law of human development. We are forged in relationship. Alone we stagnate. In the company of the right people we are refined. We become stronger, sharper, more effective. The right relationships demand your best and help you deliver it. They see your potential and speak to it until you rise to meet it. Every interaction either shapes or dulls you. That's why your circle is not a detail, it's a destiny-defining decision. Choose people who remind you of your greatness when you forget. Choose people who challenge you when you shrink. Choose those who celebrate your growth, not your complacency. Surround yourself with those who believe your best days are ahead and will help you fight for them. Start today. Call one person who inspires you and set a date to talk with intention. Attend an event where leaders gather. Join a virtual community of high performers. Create your own mastermind if one doesn't exist. Don't wait for the perfect group. Transformation doesn't happen in isolation. It happens in ecosystems of belief, accountability, and shared purpose. Just as the great minds of history forged their futures in community, so must you. Refuse to journey alone. Act as if you already belong among greatness, and soon enough you will. 7. The daily dedication. Acting as if you've done something before is not merely a mindset, it's a muscle that must be strengthened daily. The illusion many fall into is believing confidence comes first, and then action follows. In truth, it's consistent, aligned action that constructs confidence brick by brick. Every small decision to engage with your craft, to reinforce your vision through practice, is a declaration of who you are becoming. And over time, those small daily decisions create a compound effect. Disciplined practice builds skill, skill builds confidence, and confidence fuels deeper commitment. Greatness is not the result of occasional inspiration. It is forged in the shadows when no one is watching, when the applause is absent, and when your only motivation is the vision you hold of your future self. The difference between the amateur and the professional is rarely talent. It's the willingness to engage in daily deliberate practice. It's the discipline to act in accordance with your goals on days you feel least motivated. This relentless consistency reshapes your self-concept. It transitions identity from hope to embodiment. To act as if is to train your entire being, mind, body, and spirit to operate at a higher level than your current reality might justify. And this training happens through non-negotiable daily rituals. These rituals aren't random, they are sacred. They are your commitment made physical. Begin each day with a moment of visualization. See yourself succeeding, performing, achieving. Then speak life into your goals with affirmations declared aloud and with conviction. Study the masters in your field. Observe what they did daily. Imitate their discipline. And finally, practice over and over again the fundamentals that will set you apart. The legendary pianist Arthur Rubinstein lived this principle with astonishing dedication. He maintained a punishing daily practice regimen. Even in his 80s, Rubinstein could be found at the piano, repeating difficult passages hundreds of times until they no longer required thought. His playing seemed effortless, not because it came naturally, but because it was forged in sweat, in solitude, in the pursuit of perfection. Long before he graced the world's grandest stages, Mr. Rubinstein trained with the focus of a man who had already achieved greatness. That is the essence of acting as if you don't wait to be great. You behave like greatness lives within you now. Your life is no different. Your habits are declarations. If you rise an hour earlier than necessary and invest that time into your development, into reading, exercising, or rehearsing your craft, you are broadcasting your identity to the universe. That early hour becomes your fort. In that quiet space before the world places demands upon you, you program your mind for success. You build your body to house the strength your dreams require. You prepare your craft for the day your opportunity arrives. Let your morning routine become non-negotiable. Begin with breathwork or meditation to anchor yourself. Speak your goals aloud with energy. Visualize your performance. See it vividly, feel it fully. Then move your body. Train with intensity. Finally, consume wisdom. Read books. Listen to lectures. Study strategies. Let every step of your morning ritual be aligned with who you are becoming. These small daily improvements may not feel dramatic in the moment, but they stack over time. And before long, the compound effect makes you unrecognizable to your former self. This principle is ancient, timeless, and true. Whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much. Luke 16:10. In other words, the way you handle the unseen, the uncelebrated, the everyday disciplines is a preview of how you will handle greater responsibilities. Rubinstein wasn't born into mastery, he earned it through years of faithfulness to the process. Likewise, your commitment to the small will be the foundation upon which your greatness is built. So do not wait for motivation. Do not wait for the world to recognize you. Rise early. Work deliberately. Repeat daily. Let your habits speak for you. Act as if you've already arrived. And one day you'll look up and realize you have. 8. The strategic modeling. The fastest path to mastery is rarely paved by trial and error alone. It is forged by following the footsteps of those who've already conquered the terrain. When you systematically borrow the methods, habits, and thinking patterns of masters, you create a powerful progression. Improved results arrive quickly, and those early wins fuel confidence. With greater belief in your capabilities, you become bold enough to innovate, refine, and eventually surpass your original models. The journey from imitation to innovation begins not in resistance to influence, but in intentional, respectful emulation. Virtually every great achiever started as a student of someone else's brilliance. This isn't mindless copying, it's strategic modeling, standing on the shoulders of giants to see farther sooner. The beginner who imitates wisely absorbs decades of experience in a fraction of the time. The learning curve bends sharply upward. What might take years through scattered experimentation can be compressed into months through focused modeling. The paradox is that originality often emerges from imitation done with care. Study the morning rituals of your heroes. How do they begin their days? What do they read, think, and do before the world awakes? Examine their decision-making frameworks. How do they prioritize, respond to stress, and manage uncertainty? Learn their time management systems. What do they say yes to? And more importantly, what do they say no to? Watch how they solve problems, how they speak, how they carry themselves. Success leaves clues, and those clues become your playbook. In the early stages of your growth, resist the urge to customize too quickly. The apprentice follows the recipe. Only the master experiments. Adopt the strategies of your chosen exemplars with total fidelity before making them your own. Let their routines become your training ground. Through repetition and practice, the methods will integrate into your nervous system, and one day, without effort, they will evolve into something uniquely yours. Pablo Picasso embodied this principle of modeling to perfection. Long before he disrupted the art world with Cubism and became a symbol of radical creativity, he was a student of the classics. Mr. Picasso first mastered the rigorous academic techniques of traditional European art. He painted realism with precision. Then, he spent years studying the styles of great artists, absorbing their brushwork themes and techniques. Good artists copy, great artists steal. He reportedly said, not to glorify plagiarism, but to emphasize the depth of understanding required to make another's method one's own. Mr. Picasso's genius wasn't born in defiance of tradition, but in the thorough mastery of it. His innovation was the reward for his discipline. Your path to authentic excellence will look similar. Identify 3 individuals who represent your highest aspiration. Study them deeply. Read their biographies. Take notes on their routines, their habits, their mindset. Then begin to implement their practices. At first, it may feel unnatural, like you're wearing someone else's clothes. But over time, through repetition, the practices will fit. They will begin to shape your identity. You will not lose yourself in this process. On the contrary, you will discover parts of yourself that lay dormant until awakened by discipline. Modeling does not make you a clone. It gives you structure. It gives you a foundation solid enough to support the weight of your creativity. Just as an architect must master geometry before designing breathtaking buildings, so must you master the fundamentals before attempting to innovate. The Apostle Paul understood the power of this principle when he said, "Follow my example as I follow the example of Christ." 1 Corinthians 11:1. This is not a call to blind mimicry, but to wise alignment with a proven path. Just as Mr. Picasso stood on the mastery of those who came before him, so too must you build your foundation by walking with those who have already arrived where you want to go. Eventually you will outgrow the models. Your own voice will rise. Your unique blend of experience, insight, and discipline will give birth to something original. But you cannot skip the apprenticeship. True originality grows from the soil of imitation. Honor the path. Embrace the process. Study the greats until their greatness becomes part of you. Then, and only then, create what only you can create. 9. The vision commitment. Acting as if you've already achieved something doesn't begin with external behavior. It begins with inner clarity. It begins with seeing the outcome before it exists, holding that vision with such vivid intensity that all obstacles seem irrelevant. The most transformative force you possess is your imagination. Focused not on fantasy, but on deliberate creation. When you consistently visualize your desired outcome despite all evidence to the contrary, you activate a powerful loop. Your clear mental pictures guide your actions, your effective actions produce results, and those results reinforce the vision that inspired them. This is the virtuous circle of vision. The most successful individuals in history, visionaries, inventors, artists, leaders, have all possessed the rare ability to see their future reality with unwavering focus. They weren't immune to failure, rejection, or mockery, but their minds were trained to treat these setbacks as passing clouds in front of a blazing sun. This mental discipline transforms what appears impossible into something that simply hasn't happened yet. The more vivid and emotionally charged your inner picture, the more power it has to shape the physical world around you. Visualization is not passive daydreaming. It's active programming. It's a rehearsal for greatness. Spend a few minutes each day, morning and night, in focused mental cinema. See yourself performing at the highest level. Hear the applause, feel the emotions, experience the victory. Make the movie of your future so compelling that it becomes more real in your nervous system than your current reality. When your subconscious mind accepts this vision as truth, it begins to make micro-adjustments to your thoughts, words, and behavior. These shifts accumulate. Action follows belief, and belief is strengthened by what you vividly imagine. Walt Disney repeatedly faced financial ruin, skepticism, and logistical impossibilities. But Mr. Disney's vision was so detailed, so specific, that he could walk through barren acres of land and describe exactly what would one day stand there. While others saw dirt and failure, he saw castles, parades, and children laughing. Investors mocked his Disneyland concept as foolish fantasy, yet he persisted. He acted as if the park already existed, narrating its layout, its themes, its experiences. His belief was so contagious that eventually others began to see what he saw. Disneyland opened in 1955 and forever changed entertainment. It was not luck, it was vision made manifest through conviction. You have the same power available to you. Build your inner world with intention. Create a vision board filled with images that represent your dreams, places, experiences, achievements, relationships. Look at it daily. Write out your goals in the present tense as if already accomplished. I am earning. I have launched. I live. Speak them aloud every morning and evening with emotional intensity. Anchor these affirmations in your body by breathing deeply as you say them. Let your vision become so real inside that the outside world has no choice but to conform. Just as important, protect your vision. The world is filled with critics and doubters. When others mock or question your goals, do not water down your dreams to fit their comfort. Instead, strengthen your conviction. Their doubt is not your truth. That never mattered. What matters is that you see it. Write down the revelation and make it plain, for the revelation awaits an appointed time. Though it linger, wait for it. It will certainly come and will not delay. Habakkuk 2:2-3. This divine instruction mirrors exactly what Mr. Disney and other visionaries practice. Articulate your vision clearly, document it with faith, and act in alignment with its inevitability. The delay is not denial, it is preparation, it is alignment. When the time is right, your vision will take form. So hold the picture. Don't let it fade. Don't let setbacks blur it or mockery shrink it. See it clearer, louder, and stronger with each passing day. Fuel it with emotion. Move toward it with action. Speak it with authority. Act as if it's already done, because in the realm of belief, it is. And what exists in belief, when consistently honored, eventually becomes reality. 10. The bold beginning. The greatest secret of achievement is starting before you feel fully prepared. When you take that first uncertain step as if you know where you're going, you create a powerful momentum. Action generates feedback. Feedback produces learning. Learning builds genuine competence. Most people wait for confidence before beginning, not realizing that confidence comes only through experience. This paradox keeps millions trapped in perpetual preparation. The masters understand that you build the bridge as you walk on it, learning through direct engagement rather than endless planning. Take imperfect action immediately. Embrace the awkwardness of being a beginner with the knowledge that this stage is temporary. Every expert you admire once looked foolish in their first attempts. The difference lies in their willingness to endure this uncomfortable phase while maintaining the demeanor of someone headed toward mastery. Colonel Harlan Sanders, at age 65 in 1955, after multiple failed ventures, he began traveling across America with his pressure cooker and spice blend, cooking chicken for restaurant owners. He faced over 1,000 rejections before someone said yes to his Kentucky Fried Chicken concept. Without certainty of success, he proceeded methodically as if building a restaurant empire was simply a matter of executing the right steps in sequence. He made countless mistakes but maintained the posture of someone building an inevitable success. This balance of humble learning with confident execution characterizes all great achievers. Your willingness to begin before you feel ready marks the difference between dreamers and achievers. Start your journey today with one small concrete step toward your vision. Announce your intention publicly to create accountability. Commit to a specific deadline for your first milestone. Embrace mistakes as essential education rather than evidence of inadequacy. Forward motion, however imperfect, generates momentum that overcomes initial resistance. Begin before you feel ready, and readiness will find you along the path. Whoever watches the wind will not plant. Whoever looks at the clouds will not reap. Ecclesiastes 11:4. This timeless wisdom directly addresses our tendency to wait for perfect conditions before taking action. Just as Mr. Sanders refused to let age or rejection stop him, this scripture confirms that achievement belongs to those who begin despite uncertainty, not those who wait until all doubts have vanished.